Welcome back, everyone, from the break. My name is Mariam Zaidi. Please take your seats. And another reminder to keep your phones on silent, avoid any flash photography. And if you post anything on your socials, a reminder to use the hashtag Zab Media Festival 2022.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zabis Media Festival 2022 Gold Edition. This is our day 3. It has been an amazing 3 days, and we have saved the best for last. And it is our final panel. And of course, my name is Muhammad Ali Hashmi. So before we get into all that stuff, villains. We've all been villains in somebody's story. I know I have been. Regrets. But they are the backbone of every narrative. And of course, they are always present in our stories and in any form of media. They are the driving force of the film. They push our protagonists to the every edge. And love them or hate them, they are the most important part of a narrative, which is why we have our amazing panel called The Vamps on Your TV. To make this panel, we have called some of the best names in the industry, and I'm very excited for this one. Mariam, take it away.
Okay. Our esteemed panel includes Ms. Sanam Saeed. Ms. Sanam Saeed is one of the most celebrated names in the entertainment industry who has proven that she is truly the jack of all trades. Sanam Saeed has been a true gale of force that fans cannot stop adoring. A versatile artist who hasn't just only dominated TV and film, but fashion, music, and theater as well.
Next up is the brilliant Miss Fifi Haroon. A leading journalist and media producer for over 20 years, she is one of Pakistan's most celebrated names in the media. She holds degrees in politics, law, and media anthropology, and has written extensively on film, pop culture, and society.
Next, we have joining us from the UK remotely, Miss Faiza Hassan. Miss Faiza Hassan's name is associated mostly with her most celebrated role, Gohar, in the hit show Nand. Faiza Hassan is a multi-talented woman who has redefined the conventional norms of Pakistan's media industry throughout her career.
And joining us on this panel as well is Mr. Shahjahan Salim, a lecturer here at Zabis. A lecturer here at the Zabis Media Department. He is also the editor at Diva Magazine Pakistan.
And of course, moderating the panel, we have Miss Manal Fahim Khan. Miss Manal Fahim Khan is a renowned Pakistani lifestyle and entertainment journalist and educator with the flair for activism. Manal Fahim Khan is known for her strong opinions and hard-hitting journalistic pieces.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for your panel. We've all been waiting for this, so without further ado, Manal, take it away. This is all you.
Is this working? Can you guys hear me? All right. Hi, everybody. I recognize some people here, and some of you guys are my students from, I think, last semester. It's good to be back. Just wanted to say that we were going to be joined by Saboor Ali as well, but unfortunately, she could not make it. She is unwell. But we have a fantastic panel here today. I'm really excited to talk to them. Also want to say thank you to the guys presenting here. Aap logon ne aadha kaam mera kar diya. I don't have to introduce anything. The topic's been introduced as well. I feel like I want to start off with talking about the fact that TV is, I think, one of the most sort of successful mediums right now because it gets a lot of views, it's making a lot of money, there's a lot happening there. So therefore, all conversations TV related, I feel, are very, very important. So today's conversation is about vamps, as mentioned. But before we get into detail, I want to ask this question from everyone here. Not a question, but sort of setting the stage for people who are watching and listening to us today. How do we differentiate between what a vamp is and what a villainous character is, if there's any difference between the two, or if it all sort of like just blends into one? Because it's not necessary that an evil woman is a vamp also. So let's just sort of talk about that. Fifi, if you'd like to go first. I think you have
Is this working? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. I think that when we talk about villainous characters for men, we tend to call them anti-heroes. Have we ever called anybody an anti-heroine? We never do that. We use the word vamps very conveniently because it's an archaic term, it's an old-fashioned term. It immediately casts a woman in a hero is heroic. He's fighting a system, he's fighting a stereotype, he's fighting a narrative. But a vamp is only there, especially in Pakistan, on our dramas, because she offsets the heroine. She makes the heroine look good. And I think that that is one of the failures of the Pakistani dramatic narrative. Because bad characters, bad girls are so much fun. They can be so much fun. But you have to give them nuance. You have to give them a few shades of gray. You have to have a backstory. But we don't do that. We only have black and white. And that is very limiting, I think Sanam would tell us, for actors. That either you play a good girl or you play a bad girl. There's very little in between.
Yeah, I agree. Hi, everyone. I agree. The most exciting roles, even when I talk to my male colleagues, everyone wants to play a bad character or a villainous character that the audience sympathizes with. We don't have those characters because none of us are angels, none of us are perfect, none of us are Sati Savitris. We all have done, like, you know, the intro also said, we've all played the villain in someone's story. And that's just life. Those are the different shades of every human being, of every character. In nature also you see that. I mean, you know, you have storms and destruction, and then you have sunshine and rainbows, and so that's part of life, it's part of nature, it's part of what balances good and evil. So to answer your question, actually that's one of our favorite roles as actors to play, but we don't have any of those, and I think that's the point of the discussion, is to kind of discuss the gray rather than just the black and the white. Yeah?
Faiza, would you like to go next?
जी बिल्कुल अस्सलाम वालेकुम वैम्प सनम ने बिल्कुल सही कहा आई थिंक हर अदाकार या अदाकारा एक्चुअली करना चाहती है वैम्प लेकिन एक तो अब चूंकि सोसाइटी ज़्यादा आई थिंक अदाकारा में भी प्रेशर फील करती हैं तो डरती भी हैं वैम्प का रोल करते हुए क्योंकि उनको लगता है कि कहीं हमें उसी तरह असली में भी ना समझ लिया जाए वैम्प बेसिकली है क्या अगर हम टेलीविजन से निकल भी जाए तो फिल्मों ने खास तौर पे आई थिंक हिस्टोरिकली वैम्प को ज़्यादा इन्हांस किया है उसके किरदार को क्योंकि वो सेडक्ट्रेस भी होती थी उसके पास मेकअप करने का स्टाइल मारने का चीज़ी गानों पे परफॉर्म करने का ज़्यादा मार्जिन होता था टेलीविजन पे आ जाए तो आई थिंक अभी तक जितने भी रोल्स वैम्प वाले आए हैं टेलीविजन में ज़्यादातर के पास ग्लैमर ज़्यादा होता है ऑफ कोर्स परफॉर्म करने का भी मार्जिन ज़्यादा होता है और हर एक्ट्रेस करना चाहती है क्योंकि उसमें आपके पास बहुत लेयर्स होती हैं एक्टिंग करने की आप एक लम्हे में बहुत मासूम भी बन सकती हैं अपनी शक्ल में मासूमियत ला सकती हैं एंड इन अ जिफ आप अपनी आईब्रोज थोड़ी सी ऊपर ले जाकर आप फटाफट वैम्प भी बन जाती हैं So I think it's a very interesting thing. मुझे तो खैर वैम्प बनना हमेशा से बहुत पसंद था. I always enjoyed it और I never felt any pressure कि क्यों कर रही हूँ. Never.
All right.
Hi guys. Hi. Okay guys. So at least I'll take it in a very media theory sort of way. A lot of my students are sitting here probably thinking I'm going to give a lecture. No. But I just would keep it at one point that take it in this subcontinental trope and archetype that we have, that there's the sexualized woman and the non-sexualized woman. The actress is always a non-sexualized but romantic heroine, whereas the vamp is usually taken from the trope of a sexualized woman. She is your item dancer, but she's also an evil woman and something bad must happen to her. तो वो जो एक ideology है वो overall एक negative connotation पे जाती है. It is never ever in a good connotation. So the vamp is always going to be that, right? So और वो हमारा एक subcontinental trope है. Once upon a time was probably then the golden age, but now it's a very subcontinental trope that we have.
Could I just add to that? For us, most of us who've grown up on a diet of Bollywood films, the vamp, you know, the Helen character, was the first kind of vamp that we encountered as kids or whatever, you know, who would always be doing a cabaret song, or we had that in Pakistani films also. But I think what has happened in Bollywood is the character of the vamp has almost disappeared. And she's disappeared because the heroine is no longer the Sati Savitri that she used to be in the older era. So now today you will find that actresses like Deepika Padukone or Alia Bhatt or whatever play characters, and the average heroine can have sex with the hero or with anybody else, and she's not immediately considered a bad girl, right? But previously, it was a sexualized vamp who used to be the temptress, who used to do the Mehbooba or Mehbooba dances, or Piya Tu Ab To Aaja. All of that was only the vamp. Now you will find, you know, somebody like, again I'm using Deepika Padukone doing, you know, Main Lovely Ho Gayi and all of that, which initially a heroine would not do. She would not do those kind of dances and so on. So in Bollywood, they have learned to integrate the vamp into the main narrative. They have done away with the, you know, the sort of angel-whore dichotomy. And they've not fully done away, but I think to a large extent. And you can have a character like Gangubai Kathiawadi, who is very sexual, and at the same time is a good girl, you know, because she has ambition, she has, and we don't like heroines to have ambition. I'm talking about Pakistani dramas. We don't want them to have careers. We want them to focus on the food they're going to cook for their husband when he gets home. Or more importantly, they have to impress their mothers-in-law. You know, so we limit those actors in so many ways. Our female actors. I mean, I think, you know, Faiza was in one of my favorite films, which was Lord Wedding. And that was the first time that I had seen her. And interestingly, though it's a comic role, she played a vamp because she was the one who was always constantly getting in the way of the couple, you know, on their wedding night, on this, on that. I mean, she was always the kabab mein haddi all the time. And for me, that was, you know, I've watched her Nand as well, and which was on television. And Nand is far more stark, and nuances have all been taken away. You know, she's bad and she's bad. She's bad to her husband, she's bad to the son, not bad to the son, but she encourages him to do all kinds of things. But actually, we should discuss the vamp as not somebody who's just, you know, this dark, horrific character, but somebody who is different from the conventional
What is
heroine.
a vamp? Who is a vamp?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Who is a vamp? I'm
Aya
definitely a
kahan se
vamp. I'm definitely a vamp.
Nee, but what
I'm a vamp in all
what
my students'
characterizes a
life.
vamp?
So I think what's important here is also reclaiming the narrative, right? And we tend to, especially when it comes to women or female representation, there are a lot of sort of limiting descriptions, and then women over the years, even in this part of the world especially, have sort of tried to challenge those stereotypes. So vamp, I think, is one of those, right? Like वो jeans पहनती है, वो English में लड़कों से बात करती है, वो vamp है. And this is a trope we see on TV, and this is a trope we see, like even I think वो real life में भी extend हो जाता है. मेरा एक जो सवाल आ रहा था from Sanam and Faiza, from what I'm hearing, is कि I can hear that we are ready to reclaim that narrative because, you know, you guys are interested in doing such roles. But then there is either a dearth of such roles available, or are there other restrictions, maybe societal, like you mentioned, Faiza, कि, you know, आपको होता है कि society आपको किस तरीके से देखेगी. And so there is all of that pressure, and also advertisers कैसे देख रहे हैं, because again, you're a brand. So if you are this vamp character, तो आप, so just wanted to get Sanam and Faiza's feedback on that. What are some of the hindrances that come your way when you're choosing such characters? And what's the price you have to pay if you select a character like the kind that Faiza has done in her TV dramas?
Well, 100% if you choose to do commercial roles that the audience wants to see, that brands wants to see, it's the perfect gori, picture perfect heroine jo commercially viable hai. because that works for brands, that gets you all the plus points, everyone's a fan of those roles, girls want to dress like you, they want to be like you, they look up to you, it's just a win-win-win-win-win situation. If you do any other role, it is bad publicity because you may have people on two sides of the spectrum being a fan of yours or not a fan of yours or hitting your character, which then affects business in terms of brands. Like you were saying, when it comes to like advertisements and stuff, you don't want anyone who has a recall value of anything negative attached to them. Or anything too simple attached to them. Kashyap didn't really get me commercials. I was too plain. I had no makeup on. I was like, who's going to buy a product sold by this character? Or I never got commercial heroine roles in films because Kashyap to sabki behan ban gayi thi. So it was really difficult to break out of the... And then on the other side, if you do a villainous character or a vamp, what is a vamp again? I'm just really confused. तेज लड़की है, क्या educated लड़की है, क्या जो makeup लाल lipstick पहनती है, जो cigarette पीती है?
हाँ। जो अपनी मर्जी से सारे काम करे और लोगों की ना सुने। आज की सोसाइटी में वैम्प
वो है।
जो अपनी मर्जी चलाए और अपनी मर्जी से अपने फैसले सुने।
So people, and of course society doesn't like that either. You have to be kind of not so headstrong and not so confident, and you have to be able to bow down and say, okay, ji sir, aap jo bole main kar lungi. Acha, you don't want me to do this product, you want me to hold the product like this, or you want me to do that, or you want me to sell a lie, okay, fine. But if you have your own integrity and your own brains and your own voice and your own kind of perspective on things, then it becomes difficult. You have to be vamp is a stereotypical role, right? So there are always boxes and different stereotypes for all actors and all characters. और जितना आप उससे लड़ते हो, उतना आप risk लेते हो, अपनी ठरक पूरी करते हो. लेकिन as your question was, does it affect business otherwise in society and work-wise when it comes to advertisements and business? 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Faiza, would you like to take this question as well?
नहीं, सनम की बात बिल्कुल सही है। वाकई में आपको एक तो हमारे यहाँ सबसे बड़ा प्रोड्यूसर्स और सबका चैनल वालों का मसला होता है कि एक रोल आप अच्छा मशहूर कर लें तो वो चाहेंगे बस अब आप वही करते चले जाएं, तो उससे निकलना एक काम हो जाता है। मैं अपना ज़ाती तजर्बा ये कह सकती हूँ कि मेरे साथ ये हुआ था कि नंद करने के बाद मुझे एक खासा अच्छा कमर्शियल मिल गया था, बहुत सारे पैसों का था, उसमें भी विलन वाला ही रोल, वैम्प रोल ही था, बट हाँ मुझे कमर्शियल मिल गया था। जहाँ तक बात आई कि लोग पसंद नहीं करते हैं, मेरे साथ खैर ये तजर्बा नहीं हुआ। हालांकि नंद में मुझे लोगों ने खैर बुरा भला भी बहुत कहा, वो बात सही थी, लेकिन आई डोंट नो क्या वजह थी, लेकिन लोगों ने जो भी स्टाइल था, जो भी कपड़े थे, जो कुछ भी था, आई होप हरकतें ना फॉलो की हों, लेकिन बाकी चीज़ें मेरी फॉलो की थी। जहाँ तक बात आ जाती है, फीफी ने कहा था कि हमारे सब कॉन्टिनेंट ने वैम्प को बहुत बना दिया था, बड़ा स्ट्रक्चर्ड बना दिया था। आई फील कि वैम्प हमेशा से थी। अगर आप लिटरेचर उठा के देखें या आप पुरानी ग्रीक माइथोलॉजी निकाल लें तो उसमें भी बहुत सी औरतें ऐसी होती थीं जो गॉडेसेस थीं, जिनकी बहुत अच्छी क्वालिटीज़ थीं, लेकिन अचानक उन्हें किसी भी बात पे गुस्सा आ जाता था या वो अपसेट हो जाती थी तो वो फिर कुछ ईविल भी कर जाती थी, एंड एट द सेम टाइम वो अच्छी भी थी। सो आई थिंक वैम्प एक ऐसी चीज़ होती है जो अच्छी भी हो सकती है और बैक वक्त अचानक बुरी भी हो सकती है।
I think vamp loves को खत्म कर देना चाहिए. We just have to come up with it's just a label, right?
Yes, I think सनम बिल्कुल सही कहती है। लेकिन फिर क्या नया नाम निकालें?
वही तो या तो इस डिस्कशन में या but vamp कहना just immediately negative connotation आता है.
But I think हमारे
vamp असल में सुनते ही हमारे जहन में ना हेलन आ जाती है, मसला ये है। I don't know why.
But you know, I think there's some sense in using the word as well, because for example, you know, when you have something like Churels आया था, तो उस शो का नाम Churels था, but जो characters थी, they were all protagonists of that show. So in a way, they were kind of reclaiming the term Churel, because anytime a woman, you know, steps out of line, is unconventional, उसको चुड़ैल कह देते हैं।
हाँ, जानबूझ के आसिम ने इसीलिए कि आपको तो ये चुड़ैल ही लगेंगे, तो चुड़ैल नाम ही रख देंगे। आपको सोचने की ज़हमत ना दें, आप बस हाँ यही समझेंगे।
I mean, same with Qatil Hasi now, right?
Yeah.
It's a way of deconstructing and decolonizing the narrative, which is so important, because अगर वो decolonization है ही नहीं और वो अभी भी constant हम same narrative को और एक same linguistics को follow करेंगे, of course it's going to have a negative impact.
I think that what we tend to do is when we take certain characteristics in Pakistani drama and we don't like to attribute those characteristics to our women or to our female roles. Ambition is one. We don't like them to have ambition. We don't want them to have careers. We don't want them to have a viewpoint because it's always, you know, the stoic kind of long suffering, whether it was, you know, Zindagi Gulzar hai or it was, take any role, there are a lot of long suffering heroines in our dramas, you know, who cry and who are stubborn and who won't tell the husband that, oh, you know, this is how I was treated by your mother.
If I can add, I mean, on the topic of Sanam and Zindagi Gulzar, I mean, in the end, yes, your character does go into becoming a CSP officer, I believe, but there's so much suffering that she has to go through. So how does a heroine or an actor playing that character never get to just be or get that goal without having to go through so many tribulations? I mean, why is that something we constantly have?
And I think that, I think I was interviewing Amna Sheikh, I think, and she said that if you have, you know, 30 episodes or 40 episodes, let's say 40 episodes, 39 episodes, wo pit rahi hai, wo mari ja rahi hai, usse chamar, and last, you know, she finally comes and she has that one episode to convince the whole audience that she has a personality, that she has, you know, that she was right in some way. So how do you, for the previous...
Humsafar is a classic example of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Humsafar is a classic example of that.
Yeah,
right?
So what is the impact that you're left with? You don't remember the khirat that sort of stood up right in the end. You remember the crying khirat.
You remember the mummy, aapki kya kehte?
Yeah. And if you, so I think that the kind of characteristics that we should encourage in women, you know, having a life of your own, having the ability and the confidence to say, I want this, I want to do this. You know, what was Man Mayal or something in which you had the character who, she was the bad girl because she was working in a organization. The good girl was at home, you know, these kind of things. So I think we need to redefine, in our dramas, we need to redefine how we see women. What room do we give women to be women? And for me to be a woman is to be strong, is to be somebody who can, you know, take on so much and yet succeed. And, you know, this is what we want. We should want Pakistani women who are over half the population. Yeah. We should want them to be strong. We should want them to be vamps.
We should have women who have agency to make their own choices.
Exactly.
Basically.
And we don't do that. We define them as vamps. The minute they have agency, they become vamps. Yeah. Which is why, despite its flaws and despite everything else, Sinf-e-Ahan has been a very important drama serial recently. And you know, I'm hardly one to watch ISPR dramas, but I watched it diligently because there was so much agency and power and a construction of female power that, you know, we have to hold it up as a drama.
And yet I hear the ratings aren't, that's what I kept saying, the ratings uski nahi aa rahi, but because apparently no one was interested really, as powerful as a story that was to see women in military.
Yeah.
Audience is aam awam jo hai, we're not interested in seeing.
I think what we tend to do is we always judge by, we judge by ratings, of course, which is important. But it's not just reach, but it's also impact. Yeah. So I have a driver who's from Swat. And he had 6 sisters and he married 3 of them off. And there are 3 sisters remaining. And I told him about Sinf-e-Ahan and I said, you know, you must watch it. It's a different view of women and, you know, I wanted to encourage him to watch it. So he then went and told his sisters and his mother, you watch it as well. Subsequently, 2 of his sisters have said that when we finish, we want to go into the army and we want to apply. Yeah. And the mother said, no, but nobody's done this in our family. We don't go and join the army and all. But I'm so proud that my driver, Ali, turned around and said to his mother, well, we can do something new. We should allow our girls to have ambition and to do this. So, you know, for me,
and that's what the story gave them hope to see also, because that's what the classic story of the girls was, is that हमारे घर की लड़कियां कभी army में नहीं गई, and they need those visual cues and live kind of inspiration to be like, oh, if she can, I can. which is why those kinds of dramas are important, yes.
Yeah, so I think they're important. I also think they need to be promoted more. I think, you know, there were hardly any major promotions around it, right?
I actually, I was going to jump into a question based on what you're saying, which is, okay, so we need to amplify. We understand the scene is such that it's restricting, it's limiting, there's not a lot of options, and there's these tropes that the actors have to choose between. So now that we've established that, now when we move the conversation towards, okay, how do we challenge this, how do we change this? What I want to ask Sanam and Faiza is that being actors, at the end of the day, you know, your role is to entertain, to act, to, you know, to be, you know, performer in that television series, but how much responsibility then comes down to you guys to, I don't know, change the narrative, like in the sense that at the end of the day, how many roles can you keep turning down, you know? If, ultimately, agar roles come hain, you only have like a handful of roles to choose from, right? So, so how much responsibility do you have in changing how the scripts are being written, or if any? I mean, you could be either way, that it's not your job to change the landscape. Faiza, we can start with you.
देखिए, बतौर अदाकार ये खैर मेरी सोच है, मैं अपने ऊपर, मुझे बस ये लगता है कि जो मुझे स्क्रिप्ट पसंद आ जाए वो मैं कर लूँगी. अब मैं ये नहीं देखती कि उसका माशरे पे क्या असर होगा, ये वो, मैं, ठीक है, हो सकता है आपको मेरी बात गलत लगे, लेकिन मैं बिल्कुल नहीं सोचती. If I like a certain script, if I like a certain role, I'll go ahead with it. चाहे वो, क्योंकि अब देखें, क्योंकि मैं ये सोचती हूँ कि जो कुछ माशरे में हो रहा होता है या जो कुछ हमारी सोच होती है, उसके तहत ही लिखने वाले कोई भी ड्रामा लिखते हैं. आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि वो कहीं और की मरीख की सोच लेकर राइटर ने ड्रामा लिख दिया, ऐसा नहीं होता है. जो कुछ सोसाइटी में हो रहा होता है उसी से इंस्पायर होकर ड्रामा लिखा जाता है. सो अब जो कुछ हो रहा होता है उसी तरह का कोई स्क्रिप्ट अगर मुझे ऑफर होगा तो मैं कर लेती हूँ. हाँ, फिर ये अब एक मेरी ज़ाती सोच है कि जो कुछ मैंने एक दफ़ा कर लिया मैं उसको दोबारा रिपीट नहीं करूँगी. अब जहाँ तक, चूँकि मैं कमर्शियल एक्ट्रेस हूँ, तो मैं इस चीज़ में या इस बहस में कभी भी नहीं पढ़ना चाहूँगी कि ये मेरी जिम्मेदारी है कि मैं ऐसा स्क्रिप्ट करूँ या मैं ऐसा स्क्रिप्ट ना करूँ. आई डोंट थिंक सो दैट दिस इज़ माई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. माई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एज एन एक्टर इज़ कि जो प्रोड्यूसर मुझ पे लाखों करोड़ों रुपए लगा रहा है उसको मायूस ना करूं. जो डायरेक्टर मेरी अदाकारी पे भरोसा कर रहा है मैं उसे मायूस ना करूं. और जो देखने वाले हैं वो, चूँकि कमर्शियल काम हो रहा है, तो वो इंटरटेन हो, वो खुश हों, उनको लगे कि हाँ ये ड्रामा देख के या इस औरत का काम देखकर मज़ा आ गया. That's it.
Why true vamp, Faiza, true vamp. That's really confident, and I'd never thought of it, but that's such an interesting and strong and brave perspective, because I'm the complete opposite.
Yeah, let's hear about that.
But I'm becoming like that, because she's absolutely right. It's not our responsibility like that. The writers are writing about what is happening. बिल्कुल सही कह रही हैं Faiza. मैं हमेशा बिल्कुल opposite सोचती थी, and I'm in between now. I am very confused about this. Because after, let's say, Mera Naseeb and Zindagi Gulzar Hai, where the characters were very similar, they stood up for their rights, they, you know, broke any kind of phase hue notions, unke ghar mein jo the, she stood up against that and protected her sisters and herself and blah, blah, blah. And the reaction that I got from the public after that, I was like, oh, मेरे कंधों पे बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है. ये लोग तो देख के फिर CSS ऑफिस बनना चाहती हैं, या ये लोग हमारे कैरेक्टर्स को देख के they will stand up against any domestic abuse, or they'll go back to their mecca and be like, no, जब तक वो apology नहीं भेजते जो कि characters कर रहे थे, why should we go home? Mothers and khalas, you shush. Let them apologize just the way Shazia or certain characters stood up for those issues that they were facing in the house. So I was like, oh, they do get inspiration from these characters. Just like a lot of women in Jane Austen's time got inspiration from those characters. I mean, Little Women, Jo was an inspiration for so many women. So I was like, wait, I have power here. And I always want to do social work. And social work, that obviously no one will know about because social work is done away with, people don't know. But I was like, wait, how can I, not capitalize, but how can I make time for social work and my career? So to justify it in my head, I was like, okay, I can pick roles in a way where I am being socially responsible towards my audiences and where I can make a difference and a change. Our women don't travel, they don't read too many books, they don't meet men and women from different walks of life. They're in a very restricted kind of, they've got flappers on and their only exposure to the outside world is television. How do we learn and grow? Through books, through traveling, studying abroad, going to co-ed universities, colleges. So we're getting all this exposure and learning about life and how to like carry through different experiences. But these women just see television. So what can we do that can help inspire them or change them? अगर हम गंद ही दिखाते रहेंगे और वही depressing situations दिखाते रहेंगे, वही stereotypes दिखाते रहेंगे तो सासों और बहुओं में और ये सारे जो फंसे हुए मसले होते हैं, they'll be like हाँ ये तो टीवी पे भी होता है तो ये ऐसे होती है, कोई लड़की वैम्प बन जाए तो घर पे वो उस तरह बन रही है, so on TV their recollection will be like oh ये तो तेज लड़की है वैम्प बन रही है, oh she's going to do कल तो सिगरेट पीगी, इसका मतलब ये करेगी, इसका मतलब वापस she's going to start back chatting. I mean, all these stereotypes are kind of ingrained through television. But like Sinfe Ahan or these other roles, the moment you show them a problem, but then through these characters a solution, it makes them click. Tomorrow the driver is going to let his girls go to military school. Someone's going to give a CSS exam. Someone's going to like... and when I'd get emails or letters or fans would be like, आपकी वजह से मैंने अपनी बेटी को ये कहा कि तुम पहले पढ़ाई ख़त्म कर लो, फिर शादी कर लो. I was like, what? Our dramas have that kind of an impact. So then it took me many years, 3 or 4 years to get out of. मैं कभी sleeveless नहीं पहनती थी, कभी roles उस तरह के negative वाले नहीं करना चाहती थी because I was like, Kashyap has become such a role model. I can't break that image. Who else do they have to turn to right now? Because there's not many roles like that on TV. So it took me many years to break out of that. Then when you do, after Daam, which was my first, I was only getting those negative roles. So I would love to have that approach that Faiza has, and I think I will now, where I'm slowly like 1 second. It's not 100% my responsibility, but there is a little bit of a subconscious effort that I try to make when picking a role, to be like, लोग देखते हैं उनके घरों में और दिमाग में दिल में impact होता है इन roles का. So
I think that an artist owes it to themselves to take personally ambitious decisions that I like this character, I like this narrative, I like this because I've never played it before. So these are important things that Faiza was talking about, which should always come into consideration when you're choosing a role. I think it's very important. But we all have, we are all activists as well. Whether we do it openly or we do it at home, we all have minds and we believe in certain things. So it's important for us sometimes, or for a lot of actors, it may not be equally important for all actors. But some actors may feel like, Sanam might feel that I want to do this, or I want it to have this impact. I think this goes back to the kind of dramas and writers that we have. Faiza is very right in saying that jo society mein ho raha hai, उसी से इंस्पायर होके लिखते हैं. She is not wrong about that. But there is a selection process. ठीक है? So in so many dramas that I see, there is a first wife and a second wife. All right? And पहली बीवी बांझ होती है और दूसरी बीवी जो है वो बहुत ही sort of, is a vamp normally. Now, if you look at the statistics in Pakistan on how many people have 2 wives or more, it would be a very small, very, very small quotient. But why is it that we are so fascinated with this that it appears in every second or third drama? It's over-representation. So, I mean, I've interviewed in the BBC, I interviewed a lot of different actors, and they all talked about. I think it was Hina Khwaja who said to me that not Hina Khwaja, Hina Bayat, who said to me that a lot of the women who write, the digest writers, which is something that, we had a Hasina Moeens, we had a sort of, we had those writers who knew society in so many different ways. And then when the digest writers came, as Hina Bayat said, she said, a lot of them haven't seen the inside of an office. So how can they write about a woman in an office being a positive role model? They've not seen these kind of things, right? So they will write about the home. Everything is focused in the home. Look at how you hardly ever see, apart from Sinfe Ahan recently, you never see people in an environment outside the house. They're either in the bedroom or they're in the living room or they're in the kitchen. You never see the women outside anywhere. So these choices are made again and again and again. And I think we need to encourage, so this is just my theory, it may not work or whatever, but we have a lot of advertisers, a lot of corporates who finance and sponsor these dramas. So suddenly you will see that Sunsilk aa raha hai, and you will see a strong woman or strong female model, and she says, ke, you know, aap apne baal, the man says, aap apne baal sambhalein, elections hum sambhal lenge, and she says, you know, I don't need you, or whatever the case is. We see those kind of things in our ads, and then we go back to the drama, aur wo aurat pit rahi hai, wo mari ja rahi hai. So I think we need to turn to our corporates. We need to turn to our big brands and say, this is not what you should be supporting. And this is not where your money should be going because you are contradicting your own brand. And, you know, I think we need to talk to corporates now. I think that's the way forward.
And I think just to add to this, again, I don't want to mansplain anything, and of course, Sanam and Faiza can't speak on your behalf, but at least what I'll say is...
Go ahead, we allow you.
Thank you. Where I personally feel the bigger problem and why I think actors need to take responsibility is, look, I'm just going to point you guys to one example of real life incidents of Mahira Khan a few years ago. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. Now, she plays Kirat, she plays very girl next door roles. She's known to be someone who, God forbid, how can she smoke? Because clearly girls aren't allowed, right? So when you have something like that, your audience, which is already so used to seeing you guys as maybe like white, not black characters, not gray characters, because they're just perfect, they're pure, how can they smoke? And when that happens, that's because of the writing that's constantly creating those stereotypes and archetypes. So again, not speaking for you both, but I feel that then as an actor is your responsibility to also see that these scripts doesn't need to filter out every gray thing in your life, because perhaps a character can smoke on television. Yes, it's prohibited, but why can't she? There's nothing wrong with smoking if that is something they prefer. Right? It can't be turned into a trope that is negative or black. But unfortunately, that happens on television with protagonists.
Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think इसमें ये बात जो आपने कही है, उसमें देखिए बात ये भी होती है कि of course अब आजकल सोशल मीडिया की वजह से हर अदाकार का एक इमेज होता है, और वो इमेज मोस्टली हम खुद चूज करते हैं कि हमने अपने आप को किस तरह पोर्ट्रे करना है, किस तरह लोगों को बताना है कि हम क्या हैं. Sometimes I think बहुत से अदाकार और अदाकाराएं आजकल जो मैंने देखा है अपने आप को वैसे भी बहुत ज़्यादा, मैं किसी एक अदाकारा की बिल्कुल बात नहीं कर रही हूँ, लेकिन वो अपने आप, एक तो उन्होंने अपनी ज़ाती ज़िंदगी को बहुत ज़्यादा दिखाया हुआ भी होता है लोगों को, और उसमें वो ये भी बता रहे होते हैं कि हम बहुत अच्छे हैं, हम बहुत नेक हैं, हम बहुत मजहबी हैं या बहुत ही अच्छे. फिर ऐसे में जब फिर आपकी कोई ज़ाती चीज़ निकल पड़े या आपको ड्रामे में कुछ करना पड़ जाए, तो फिर पब्लिक बहुत ज़्यादा रिएक्ट भी करती है. बट हो सकता है, बिकॉज मैंने आज तक कभी इस तरह की चीज़ फेस नहीं की, हालांकि मेरे ख्याल में मैंने बहुत तरह के किरदार किए हैं. मुझे ज़ाती ज़िंदगी में आज तक कभी किसी ने ये नहीं कहा कि ये तुमने कैसे कर लिया या क्या तुम असली में भी ये करती हो, क्योंकि मेरे ख्याल में मैंने हमेशा अपना एक इमेज या वो ऐसा रखा है कि ये एक मेरा काम है और मेरी ज़ाती ज़िंदगी एक अलग चीज़ है. आई थिंक ये अदाकारों की अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है कि वो अपना इमेज क्या जनरेट कर रहे हैं और क्या लोगों को दिखा रहे हैं.
बट आई फील लाइक कि समटाइम्स वो जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल आयज़ा खान जस्ट रिसेंटली डिड तुम मेरे पास हो, आई थिंक मेरे पास तुम हो, एंड शी प्लेड दिस very different character because we saw a woman who was, she was a true vamp, right? So But what happened was that she actually, outside of the TV show, she actually got, like from what I've heard, allegedly, that there were incidents that she had to face where people actually called her do takke ki aurat in real life because of it happened to her. So, you know, so that spillover from what that's what I was curious about, that I'm sure that happens. And I feel like perhaps there is also an unfair sort of pressure and responsibility when you are performing in a very patriarchal society where the statistics will show you the crimes against women and their safety and the sexual violence that they have to face. तो वहाँ पे फिर I'm guessing कि actors की responsibility फिर unfortunately बढ़ जाती है because like that's their context. I mean, if you were performing in a society that was a bit more free and, you know, fair, then you wouldn't have to worry so much about what your actions are going to do for the women of that country.
I think the back.
मेरे ख्याल में इसमें इतना वो भी नहीं होना चाहिए, अदाकार को I think इतना sensitive नहीं होना चाहिए, क्योंकि मुझे याद है जब मैं ये रोल कर रही थी उसके बाद मैं रोज जब वो ऑन एयर होता था उसके बाद मैं और हमारे सब एक्टर्स हम बैठकर YouTube पे नीचे कमेंट्स पढ़ते थे और वो आधे से ज़्यादा एक्चुअली तकरीबन सारे कमेंट्स में मुझे इतनी माँ बहन की गालियाँ लिखी हुई होती थी मैं बता नहीं सकती, बट एक खास टाइम के बाद तो हम सब बहुत इंजॉय करते थे और हंस रहे होते थे क्योंकि आप कुछ कर नहीं सकते. It just tells you how people are involved in that drama.
That's a job well done. Then
माँ बहन की गालियाँ दे रहे तो मैं कुछ कर नहीं सकती और मैं अपने ऊपर बुरा भी नहीं मान सकती क्योंकि वो किरदार को गालियाँ दे रहे होते हैं, वो मुझे असली में नहीं दे रहे होते हैं गालियाँ. So I think अदाकार को इतना हसास नहीं होना चाहिए.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Sorry,
I think that for me what is really needed is that we need to have roles which have nuance and which have shades. तो अगर आप मेरे पास तुम हो जैसे ड्रामा को अगर आप लेते हैं तो उसमें एक बुरा औरत बुरी मर्द अच्छा, ठीक है, तो फिर वो 2 टके की ही औरत कहलाई जाती है and people identify with that. But if she had a backstory, more of a backstory, if it was explained why she becomes a certain way. I was watching, I mean, Sabur is not here right now and I haven't watched the whole drama, but I was watching this drama about Tere Liye Kafir, or what was it, in which it is her mother initially who takes her to these black magic places and the mother starts doing things and she doesn't immediately understand, but she becomes incorporated into it because her mother is like that. So that's a backstory. So when she starts doing it herself to get the man that she wants, you understand that it's not entirely her. It's something that that has been inculcated into the culture of her home. So backstories, I feel, are very important. You know, if you have a woman who maybe is money-minded or whatever the case might be, why is she money-minded? Did she grow up in a poor household? You know, was she deprived of things as she was growing up? Why is money the sole thing that she's hankering after? Explain these things. Or it doesn't have to be done in a sort of dictatorial kind of way. It should be done is what is true to the narrative and the world that you're creating. But we're never given these backstories.
Because बहुत ज़्यादा time romance or main hero heroine को दे देते हैं, which no one cares by the end of it because there's 26 episodes of them that you'll understand. So yes, it's very important to give at least 30 or 20% of that time to the villainous characters or the.
And I think अगर आप ये इंडिया में देखें ये चेंज आ रहा है. अगर आप प्राइम पे मेड इन हेवन देखें, there's a character, she's the protagonist, she's shown as someone who marries into money, she does not have it, but there's a whole backstory where they actually say, okay, she's money minded because she comes from no privilege and now she you know gains it, constructs her life. And it legitimizes and it's okay to have that, right? Why can't
and
we
it's
have it
better
here?
Storytelling.
Exactly.
It's better narratives. It's more interesting to see.
The Ozark, the best characters are Ruth and Wendy Bird. They're messed up, flawed characters, selfish as hell, but they're the best written characters because they're human with all these flaws and it just makes it so much more interesting. So I don't know if we have any writers here, but writers need to hear what we're saying, basically. हम लोग वैसे ही हवाई बातें कर रहे हैं. They need to hear it.
Achha, so as we move towards the last bit of the conversation before we open for questions, I think what I want to end our discussion on is कि जब हमने identify कर लिया कि क्या-क्या issues हैं, and हमने identify कर लिया कि actors की क्या responsibility है, not putting you on the spot right now, but asking you because you also have very a deep insight and knowledge of the industry and how, you know, films and TV and all of that is done. So where would you say कि एक तो writers are responsible, but again writers से भी ज़्यादा maybe it's the producers and the distributors and so.
Manal, it's the Setia system. I think जब तक वो Setia system है ना, it's the conglomerate system, but unfortunately we are not the conglomerate system, we're a Setia system. And until all your stories are given to one producer, one writer and said कि आप make 100 copies of something, make all the kitschy comments, the content that you can, that is how you create a society that just keeps on creating the same thing again and again with different names. जब एक खिरत बनती है और वो 100 बार खिरत का ही रोल दूसरे नामों से चलता है, then of course you're creating a society where that will constantly be created. So it's not, again, it may not be the actor's responsibility, but it is definitely the channel's responsibility of what content then they're putting out again and again. So that needs to, I think, really needs to be evolved or changed.
All right. Can I get your thoughts too on this? The rest of the panel?
I'm still thinking.
We'll come back to you. Fifi, would you like to go next?
I think that we are doing such a disservice to the women of our country, and we are doing such a disservice to the young generation, which I'm seeing before me. Because dramas are the most watched genre in Pakistan. For men and women, by the way. We think men don't watch it. But the men who are watching it also pick up the stereotypes on women. They think this is what women are like. This is not the women they see around them, but they start, these expectations, these yardsticks start sort of
fantasizing about it.
Yeah. And I think that the women who may, you know, there might be women with ambition or women who want to go ahead, get ahead in life, or women who just, you know, they see something like this. There was this drama of Mawra Hussain. It was hugely popular. I can't remember the name of it. But she bakes cakes. Sabah? Yeah. So she bakes cakes and whatever, and it's to pay a loan back. And I was like, oh, this is great. You know, she starts up from home. She starts up her own catering business. And I said, that's great, because a lot of young girls can potentially do that. And she was a believable character. And when she pays back her loans, one day she just says, okay, I'm shutting down the bakery. And her friends say, why are you doing that? You're such a huge success. And she says, oh, my aim was to pay that loan back. And I've paid it back, so I don't need to do this anymore. And that was such a heartbreaking moment. Because here's this, you're showing a girl who has started, who has a startup, who is earning money, who's doing it from the home, which a lot of young girls today, it's a huge step, but they can do it. Maybe their families won't allow them to go outside or whatever, but they can do something from home. And then she says, oh, but it's not important. I did what I had to. It was such a heartbreaking moment, because what have you just done? You have made that character who was the hope of so many girls, you've dashed the hopes of so many young women who could potentially, who would say, no, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe, she had a reason, I don't have a reason. Why is it wrong to be financially independent? Why did they have to write that into a drama serial that was so inspirational to women? So I think of those little children, a lot of women, how they watch drama serials, they will sit with their little children in the daytime, sometimes repeats, or in the evening or whatever. And the woman is sitting and is ironing there, and the little child is sitting there. And he looks up and he sees the woman being slapped once, and then he looks at the woman being slapped twice. And then at night, the father comes home and he slaps the mother. And so the child says, oh, it's normal. I saw it on TV. I saw it in my home. So he's going to grow up and he's going to be, well, I can also slap my wife, because that is a culture that he grows up in. And by the way, we have something like, as high as 82 to 85% domestic violence in this country. So showing it, yes, but showing it and letting the person get away with it. Find solutions. That's what Udari did. There were steps forward. There was a case, there was this, there was that. Show that's what's happening in our society, but don't leave it at that point. Show a solution.
जैसे ये थप्पड़ वाली बात आपने बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग कही थी क्योंकि इवन एज एन एक्टर जो है वो चॉइस होती है कि हम जो है वो शूट कैसे करवाना चाहते हैं. एंड मेरी हमेशा से मेरा उसूल रहा है कि मैं आपको एक एक्सप्रेशन दे दूंगी पिटने वाले, लेकिन कोई मुझे हाथ नहीं लगाएगा असली में। तो वो बात आपकी सही है कि ये गलत है, नहीं दिखाना चाहिए। मैंने खुद थप्पड़ खाए भी हैं, थप्पड़ मारे भी हैं, और असली में मैंने ना किसी को थप्पड़ मारने दिया और ना मैंने खुद मारा, लेकिन ये गलत है और ये नहीं दिखाना चाहिए। खासकर जिस तरह ड्रामों में दिखाया जा रहा था, या तो हम कोई एक्शन ड्रामा या एक्शन फिल्म देख रहे हो तब तो समझ आता है, लेकिन वैसे ऑफ कोर्स इस तरह की चीजें दिखाना जो है, आप उसको और एक्सेप्टेबल बना रहे हो।
Okay, thank you. Sanam, would you like to go next?
No, I'm struggling, which is why you don't see me on screen anymore. Because is it in our control? People think, oh, the actors have control, or some say barely. They're like, if you don't want to do it, if you're going to have so many questions, who's the next one who doesn't have so many questions? Yeah. And they'll do it. So I'm struggling to find roles that I'm okay doing, that I can go sleep at night thinking, okay, I did something right in life, or I did something worth, living to tell the next day. I don't know, I've been reading scripts recently, and it's also like, jo dikta nahi, wo bikta nahi, right? So there have been a few good scripts, very good scripts that I would have loved to be a part of, because I haven't been on screen so much. Directors, writers, producers, you also don't go to the actors that are not on screen so much anymore. You want someone who's constantly on the payroll or on screens to then be in your dramas. So I'm reading scripts, and I've rejected so many because I'm like, still this? And you're asking me, you know that I'm going to have 1,000 questions. You know the kind of roles I do. This is what you're saying is going to be a good drama and I must do. I can't. I read one awful scene and I'm just like, no, sorry, not for me. I'm reading another one these days and I'm trying to find the magic in it. I'm trying to be like, acha agar is tarah karoon, acha. It's just so difficult. So I'm really struggling, and yeah. So that's, yeah.
So just to add to this, if you haven't heard of her, I highly suggest that you watch. This is this media theorist called Jean Kilburn, and she says something, and I'll quote her. Just like how fish can't swim in toxic and polluted water, women and men cannot survive in a toxic media environment either. And this is something we really need to realize. It's the same. You can't pollute with bad media content and then expect actors, writers, filmmakers to survive, and for the next generation to do the same. So that, I think, really needs to be understood.
I think Sir Shah Jahan went into his teacher mode. Please don't be a teacher right now. No, you're right. I completely agree. And I think that I just wanted to say that both Faiza and Sanam, it's not an easy decision, of course, and I'm sure that you struggle a lot, as you're mentioning, and that's really brave of you to be able to sort of like have that sense of responsibility, and then think about that when you're choosing your roles. And at the same time, really brave of you too, Faiza, for not giving a shit and just going for it and doing roles that you like to do and that excite you, that you care about. And I think both these choices that you make in the kind of environment that we have are difficult ones. Kudos to you guys, and that's really, really brave. And then, so just want to now open the floor for questions. If anybody has, okay, we already have a question. We've been waiting. Okay, TK. Do we have a mic?
Okay, thank you. First of all, thank you all for being here. It's incredibly great having you. My name is Ali. I'm part of the media faculty here. I'm also part of the advertising industry. So I have a bit of a question, and in the process of asking this question, I may sound like the devil's advocate. That is the intent, and again, only for the purposes of being the devil's advocate. So we've been speaking of the WAMP as having certain stereotypical, traits, and we're representing those traits in order for it to connect with the people in the negative kind of connotation, and that's what helps the protagonists then come towards the forward. And then there was this conversation that kept going on about, they have a backstory too. Sure they do, of course they do. That's how they got there in the first place. But when you look at a lot of successful anti-heroes, like you just mentioned, for men it's usually used. When I think of a great anti-hero, I think of the Joker, right? Who received his share of the backstory, but far later, after several other, Batman and Dark Knight films came out, and then he gets his story. But in that process, he still was the bad person. My question is, if we start justifying the behavior of the WAMPs and get audiences to sympathize with them, at the end of the story, does that leave them a WAMP? And if that doesn't leave them a vamp anymore, then do we not need this character archetype anymore? Yes, thank you.
Justify what behavior? That she is independent, that she makes her own decisions, that she's a working woman, that she's... What is there to justify?
I'm not referring to these behaviors per se. What I'm referring to is any kind of representation of a vamp, be it in the wrong way that it's happening in terms of independence and all, or be it as a bad human being. So when you take, because there are reasons.
You're saying if they give the backstory, by the end of it, are you still going to think that she is a vamp, or are you going to think that she is a good person suddenly? Is that what your question is?
Exactly. And so what does that do with the character archetype then?
I think as the audience member, you're going to be a little humble and realize that you were too quick to judge a character, and therefore you were quick to judge people in real life. I think it helps certain nuances in scripts like that make you realize how black and white your soch can be sometimes, and how you implement that into real life, and then categorize people and we're too quick to judge. I think that a shift in a script like that would only make us help us to be more open-minded and more forgiving. More than anything else, is the only thing I can take away from that.
No, I think you're right. I think that the other angle to this is that there are different types of films and different types of dramas, right? Some films, and I think Faiza referred to this, the narrative requires, in Batman, the Joker was required to be somebody who you may not understand fully. He was way over the top. Okay? And that fitted into the world of that film. Our problem in Pakistani dramas is that the world in every single drama is a middle class, moralistic, moralizing, narrow-minded world. You see the same world again and again and again and again. That's where backstories become important, right? We don't have variety on our screens. When we try to show a rich family or whatever, it looks so fake because they'll put a few sort of fast cars and that kind of thing around, and the girl will wear jeans. But you don't need a backstory in every film. You don't need a backstory in every drama. But then you need to start making a variety of dramas. You can sit with your remote and flick between about 10, 15 channels on Pakistani television, and you might think you're watching the same drama. So what we need is, we need a Batman, and we also need a cake, and we also need, different types of dramas, so that we can have some dramas with that no backstory, and some dramas which are realistic. If they're realistic, they should have backstories. If they're fantasy-based, they don't need backstories. So it's which kind of film and narrative, I think, which is important.
But did that answer your question? Right. You do need to give a backstory to a bad character, even if in the end you think, they're not so bad after all.
My point was only just because the backstory essentially allows audiences to look at various facets of a character. Whereas when a writer writes, he tends to focus on certain traits of a character, and they do it for a reason. Even if it's for all the wrong reasons, that's how the art of writing essentially works, right? The writer is focusing the audience towards a certain aspect. Yeah. By providing a backstory, he's given greater context. So,
But even when you don't provide the Batman, the Joker story, there are moments in there where he looks browbeaten, he looks sensitive. You feel bad for him because that's good acting, and that's space, and that's good direction.
Okay, do we have any more questions?
I have one more question.
Go ahead.
Oh, there's a second mic. Oh, okay. Right, anyway. So, just a quick question. I think one thing that we kind of spoke about was actors sort of performing and the kind of roles they're limited to. But does that mean that there is a huge shortage of female writers? And when there are female writers writing the stories, is there internalized patriarchy that's forcing them to create more narratives that do not excel women or write women characters with agency?
I think how Fifi said, the digest writers had never been outside their home and into the real life, like workplaces. Therefore, their knowledge and experience is very limited. It's what they'd heard or what they'd been told that working women क्या पहन के जाती हैं, क्या ऑफिस में होता है या क्या ऑफिस आवर्स होती हैं, therefore वो लेट आती हैं तो वो लेट क्या करी होती, तो फिर I mean just all in their head without actually having first-hand experience that. I think that is their limitation.
And I think, sorry, I know I'm the moderator, but I wanted to add to that as well that ultimately even the women who are writing, like there are lots of female writers who are writing dramas, but even those women, yes, granted that they have limited exposure, they also have limited agency. Like imagine these...
Except for Beagle, she's one of the best.
Well, of course, she's one of the top writers, but when we're talking about digest writers or larger hain, to wo bhi, like, they're not really completely free to put anything in there because there's like a whole hierarchy. You have a producer, you have a distributor, you have a channel. Imagine one of these digest writers wants to write about really empowered women. They'll be like, no, rota with the cow, you know.
And I'll tell you, sorry, how this is what I've seen firsthand without taking the writer's name. Her previous work, when she was a novelist, excellent. Now that she's a famous writer and writing for channel heads, her writing is not the same at all. It's exactly what you're saying. कि ये है pattern, ये है formula, ये है ratings, ये है we want a little bit of this, you have to salt and pepper it with this. You have to have that formula. Her writing does not have the magic that it used to have anymore.
I think the female writers that we had, first of all, there was one channel, PTV and then STN. Okay? And you had people, and Hasina Moin used to write one play which used to come once a week. And they say that the streets of Lahore and Karachi were empty at the time that Tanhaiyan or Parchaiyan or any of those serials used to come on. Recently, I went back and saw old episodes of Parchaiyan. I went and saw old episodes of, and to be honest, Hasina Moin had a very Mills and Boons kind of writing style. You know, she was our sort of, you know, that kind of thing. And yet, within these dramas, there are scenes in there where the women are reflective, they're thinking about life, the dialogue is amazing. You know, or when it comes to politics, you look at Nurul Huda Shah. I mean, the caliber of that kind of writing, agreed that we had 2 channels and, you know, 1 play a night at most, or, you know, that kind of thing. And PTV, you know, was a different kind of, it was just completely different caliber and different era. But today, there are 30, 40 dramas being made at the same time. And really, let's blame the people who are responsible. It's the drama heads in channels, it's the channel owners. It is even female-led channels are propagating myths all the time. And probably more so. You know, I respect Momina Duraid a lot. And while I was interviewing her, she said, you know, look, I brought all these new writers in. And they were sitting at home and they were out of work. And I brought all these new writers in. And they're writing all these plays. And, you know, well done to bring a new breed of writers, but they're all digest writers. Yeah. And they're all very limited. I'm not, you know, people like Umaira Ahmed have, you know, managed to rise a little above what they were doing and, you know, write something like Sinf-e Ahan, but then you have to have somebody like Nadeem Beg to work with them as a director to take it forward, you know. So, we need, if I was a channel head, which I'm not, but might be good if I was, but I would look at young people who are out there, who have open minds, who are bright. Why have these young people, bright people, look what happened to Coke Studio. You know, it went from, it was brilliant in the early days, it became a stale format, and they had the courage to say, put this all aside, we want to flip it, we want to change it. And they had a brilliant season with young people, with that, you know, you could get beyond the old established stars. And you could progress and have, you know, to have young people, you could bring in house music, you could bring in rap, you could bring young stunners, you could bring in young people from Lyari. And these people were also getting, you know, 15 million hits and 20, and Pasuri, you know, a girl who sang on Instagram. So we've got to be brave. We've got to have, I give full marks to Coke for having that spirit and just flipping it and saying we're going to leave something we've done for 13, 12 years. And we are going to completely astound the world and the industry. And we're going to make it so good that people sitting in Europe and America are going to say, this is what we want. You know, this is how we're going to get better.
Yeah.
So flip it, you know, own it. That's what I'm saying.
Do we have more questions? We do, but like I think we're being told that we can't take the questions. We're out of time. Acha, theek hai. So we're out of time. All right. So
No. We must have one female question. You've had no female questions.
Two. So there's that. Just balance it out. Two.
let's get a question from the back.
But we have.
Yeah, can you stand up? Yeah.
Your. Ask. Wait. She has a question. Ask
Let's
it.
do two. Come on, we're not running anywhere.
Alright, so I do empower women and having strong roles. I do empower women. Like I love writing and I have written multiple strong women characters and not just BAMs. But I do have a question is like from a household that comes from a very religious perspective and how they're like multiple times of many households are like women need to be a certain age and a certain like they should get married at a certain age, and if they're going beyond, like if they're becoming modern, they can't be modern because then they're going to be like society kya kahegi. So what is your opinion on that? Like how do you break that norm that has been there in households versus like religious? How do you break that?
Every house, every drama doesn't have to have a religious house, you know. Stay true to the world you create. It is also possible within that to have a woman who's a rebel, you know, and don't show her as bad. Don't have the two sisters, which we have had in so many dramas, where there was one bad sister who's a rebel and a good sister. Give her a little nuance, give her a little bit of agency. Let's see what can she do within that kind of thing. And I'm sure we'd all appreciate and watch it.
Sanam, Faiza, do you guys want to take this question? No, okay.
I have a question from Sanam Said. So, speaking of Zindagi Gulzar Hai, Zindagi Gulzar has portrayed the harsh realities of life and that nobody is ready to discuss. So, I want to know your opinion. What is your opinion about Kashyap's character? What is the one advice you would like to give her as Sanam Said?
I always say this, to complain less, to be more grateful. She complained too much. She didn't have the worst of it.
But
she wasn't.
She's always labeled as Nashukri from the beginning of the drama. But
that was her biggest flaw and her only flaw.
Yeah, that was the biggest.
Otherwise, life wasn't so bad to her. There's far worse that's happened to people.
But she was right at somehow she was right because she faces so many harsh realities of life. And
like what? Not having a father only? She was not that poor. घर के ऊपर सर के ऊपर छत था, बहनें साथ रहती थी, खाना था टेबल पे, डाइनिंग टेबल पे बैठ के खाते थे, कॉलेज जा रही थी. इसमें क्या इतनी मुश्किल बात थी? बाप नहीं था और बाप बेटियों को उस तरह से शाबाशी नहीं देता था. That really hurts someone. That is the biggest pain. Yeah, so that was her biggest pain, is she never got shabashi from her father. Mother and father figure are so integral to a child's upbringing. It shapes the rest of your personality, your emotional development for the rest of your life. So her only problem with Zaroon also and life was this bitterness that she carried within herself, is that बाप से शाबाशी नहीं मिली और जैसे ही बेटा हुआ दूसरी बीवी से, so everything went to that son. So it was just the classic, son was given more, what's the word? Priority over the daughters. 3 daughters here who were very good, but he considered them good for nothing.
I think what Sanam's saying is, don't be bitter in life. Bitterness doesn't get us anywhere. And it's very easy for us when the chips are down to just get really bitter and to just think that bitterness will only breed further bitterness and happiness will never come your way.
Are you waiting?
No, I think panelists, are we good?
Thank you.
That's all right. So just a big thank you to everybody for being here, listening to this conversation. Huge applause for the people over here. And also just the actors for sharing, Faiza, Sanam for sharing like the stuff that you guys have to go through.
We love you, Faiza.
Yes. And Zabis, thank you for having me here. All right.
A huge round of applause for our panelists. And our lovely moderator, Manal. But I would love for you guys to just stay here for a second as we present you with tokens of our appreciation from Madam President and Miss Mehwish. Would you please join us?
Okay. First, we will go with Sanam Saeed. Sorry.
Audience, please stay seated. Thank you. Madam President, we would love for you to present Sanam with her token. And of course, Ms. Faiza Hassan, we will keep your token with us and send it for you as soon as you come back to Pakistan. Thank you for joining us. You have been an amazing panelist.
Thank you.
Is Faiza okay? We'd love to present our next token to Ms. Fifi Haroon. We'd also love to give our next token to our moderator, Manal Fahim Khan. As we end our event, I'd just like to thank our sponsors, Airby Media Group as our official media partner, Diva Magazine as our digital partner, #M Management as our PR partner, Second Cup as our beverage partner, Pacola as our refreshment partner, Adore as our beauty giveaway partner, Newplex as our cinema partner, Sports in Pakistan as our sports partner, Allure is our jewelry partner, Organic Bar as our organic beauty partner, TSM & Co as our footwear partner, and Kuku as our lifestyle partner, without whom this would not have been possible. Again, thank you everyone for coming. This has been an amazing 3 days. Good night, take care, and I'll see you guys soon.